Unfortunately, the people that were supposed to speak on have ended up ill, so I've been asked at the last minute to fill in for them. Being a conference on events, disability is becoming a very serious issue with regards to accessibility to all these venues. And it's very frustrating when you're invited to a venue as a disabled person and there are no facilities for you. So what we have to do is go back to the Constitution, and we actually have to look at the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And I just want to read a short passage out of here that says, under equality, no person may unfairly discriminate directly or indirectly against anyone on one or more grounds in terms of subsection 3, which we'll get to later, including disability. National legislation must be enacted to prevent or prohibit unfair discrimination. Then there's a section on human dignity. Everyone has inherent dignity and the right to have their dignity respected and protected. Now, I had a fantastic grand entrance here this afternoon, which normally never happens. 9 times out of 10, 3 or 4 people grab me around, one on each corner of the wheelchair. I get picked it up like in the olden days, or the Arabs or the Egyptians, where they carry the people up and down, backwards and forwards. I don't mind, but it's not a very dignified way of entering into a building. So I think when conferences and venues are supposed to be planned, things like that need to be looked at. And I'm very impressed with the facilities I've come across today, except actually for the ramp outside the front door. It's there, fantastic, easy to get in. However, on my own, I probably would never manage to get up of it. Now, disability is not something anyone asks for. It's something that happens. And the industry nowadays, the disabled person is becoming more and more and more of a motivational speaker, and therefore being used more and more and more at conferences. And therefore we would like the people to pay careful attention to... Can you open this for me, please? Sorry. Thank you. Pay more attention to accessibility so that we can also get in and have our say and inspire and motivate and frustrate and irritate people as any one of the other speakers do. Thank you. Just recently, Harry and I went to an international conference held at the Santon Sun in Cape Town. Now, I see the previous speakers were from Cape Town. Yes, the hotel was fantastic. The rooms were excellent. The accessibility was stunning. The conference venue was acceptable. However, a disabled person, and excuse if I become a little crude in the issue, have trouble getting to a bathroom. Now, when you've got conference facilities on one level and there's no accessible wheelchair bathroom there, you have to go out the building, down a lift, onto the next floor, into the bathroom. It gets very frustrating because we don't have the ability to hold back, if I could use the term. The Afrikaans say, "Ek kan nie knyp nie." And when you have to suddenly get to the bathroom, it becomes a mission. You're interrupting venues, you're interrupting people, and it's something that needs to be looked at. Yes, now, I can't expect a toilet for the disabled on every single level, so there are acceptable limitations which you have to do. And the only way to come up with this is to actually negotiate with the person that you're dealing with. Ask them what are their requirements and try to cater for them as much as possible. Everything went exceptionally well until they decided one night, we're going from the Santon Sun to the V&A waterfront for supper. Now, I had specifically made arrangements to say to them, listen, I am in a wheelchair. Are the buses wheelchair accessible? Because they're conveying everybody by bus. We had a small mishap in the bedroom where the safe wouldn't open, so we couldn't get all our necessary equipment out of the safe, so we were a little late. Get downstairs, Not one of the buses were wheelchair accessible. And nobody bothered to find alternative accommodation or transport for me. There the buses rush off. We left, hailed down a taxi. It takes Gerrit and myself